Welcome back, my little nightmares. Me, Queen Nightmare, and I ain't gonna lie, I was just watching some scenes from this anime called Gokun Babysitters. I died of laughter because I saw the kids and I forgot what it felt like to be a kid. You just don't know, you don't remember entirely what it was like when you were 4 or 3, and you just see this and you're just like, I was an idiot, but a cute idiot. But it was adorable at the time. If it was like right now, we would just think we're morons, but it's adorable at their size, and I like the anime. Haven't seen the whole anime because reasons. If I watch the whole anime, I will I will go crazy because I can't listen to baby kids for over a little bit on an anime kind of thing. Anyways, let's keep on going. This is the Drarry Fanfiction. Full Moon. Hey, sorry it's been so long since I updated. I decided to do one chapter every week. School is just started off. I'm already freaking out with all the work I have to do after school. I'll probably update every Saturday, Eastern time, but if I have a relatively quiet week, I might write more than one. This is a really short chapter. I'm sorry. I'm going to add another chapter that's longer tomorrow, and another after that. Alex. No, just take your time. I literally apologize for my work on here, and you guys are like, it's fine. Chill. It's going to be fine. Stop freaking out. And I'm like, I can't, because my parents freak out at me, and then I just have all this freak out energy that I just need to get out there. So this is how I deal with it. I read and put it on YouTube and then just humiliate myself on the internet, which is forever. Yay. It was the next full moon, and everyone was getting ready to join Harry in the shrieking shack. Hermione, Draco, Ron, and Harry walked together to the Whomping Willow and dodged all the branches. They walked to the Shrieking Shack and got ready in the same bedroom Harry was last in. That's a sentence you don't want to say in public if they have not read the story. Harry stripped down to his boxers and undershirt and hung up his clothes in the wardrobe. He downed the wolfsbane. They all waited for the full moon to show. Harry started to feel the weird feeling before the pain started. Transform, quick! Harry warned them. They obeyed and changed into their Omegas form. They watched pitifully as Harry hunched down in agonizing pain and transformed before their eyes. He sat down, looked at the others. Can you understand me? Harry asked. Ron wagged his tail. We can talk when you are transformed, he exclaimed happily, barking and all. Hermione flew onto the wardrobe to have a better view of the room. It's weird that we can communicate, but then again, we are now part wolf, so maybe that's why. You are now part wolf, that's why. Hermione inquired. She looked out the window and made sure that there was no one outside. Draco climbed onto the bed and laid down and groomed his paws. What do you want to do? The wolfsbane should make you really tired soon, Draco commented to Harry. Even in Harry's wolf form, the others could see the scars on his face and body. Harry discovered a couple days ago that Draco's scars were present as a cat, but his fur covered them up. The four talked a little until the wolfsbane kicked in. They all laid down on the dusty king bed and fell asleep. Draco curled up next to Harry's chest, and Hermione nestled in the cradle of Ron's legs when he curled up. Okay, I don't know. What is the big definition of a cradle? Is there two definitions? Is it a verb or a noun kind of thing? I wonder. Either that's my cat cleaning out her litter box, or that's construction next door. Literally, I couldn't do any taping today because there's so much construction. I'm sorry about that. So I'm literally taping this at 6 at night. Usually I do this at 10 in the morning, which I should keep on doing, or during my choir class, which I should do. The next morning, everyone woke up and Harry had detransformed in his sleep. He was asleep in his slightly tattered boxers. Ripped undershirt. They all transformed back into their normal forms and woke Harry up. Just like last time, he was extremely tired and groggy. Harry, sweetie, wake up. We're going to be even more late than we already are, Draco told him. Judging by the sun, it was almost 9, and classes started at about 8. Oops. Harry swatted Draco's hand away and turned on his other side. Draco sighed and got Harry's clothes from the wardrobe. Ron and Hermione levitated Harry so Draco could put on his pants on, and Draco buttoned up his shirt and tied his tie. They left the robe in the dorm. Draco slung Harry on his back, and the group left the Whomping Willow back to the castle. When they got back, they gave him an energy potion, and they all got showered. Once everyone was cleaned up and ready, they all headed outside to Hagrid's hut. When they got there, Hagrid was showing the class a giant lizard, which was perched on his head and shoulders. Ah, there you are. Wondering where you been? I don't know if that was an accent. I just read the words and I saw how they were written. I'm not trying to do an accent. You know I suck at accents, and I don't try to do them. I did first time I read stuff, but now I don't try to do accents. But you know when I get angry and into the story, I do have an accent from now and then. That's the problem. And you guys are like, what the hell was that? I go, I don't know. Hagrid commented. He continued the lesson, and Hermione wrote down as much as she could. She just looked up at the lizard later. During class, Harry sort of closed his eyes and fell over a little. Yeah. Thankfully, no one noticed. Draco caught him before he fell over all the way. Ron and Hermione helped Draco get Harry onto his back. Draco carried Harry on his back for the remainder of the day. I'm pretty sure that Harry is really, really skinny. Well, yeah, he has more of a tinier stomach than everyone else. If you see his eating habits in any of the stories or any of the books. Or the movies, too. I haven't read some of the books, but I have seen, he wasn't treated properly. So, from an earlier age, he would eat what you're only eating. Just finish your plate, and that's it. So I'm pretty sure he's really skinny and really underweight for him, which he shouldn't be because of it's not good to be underweight. Overweight's not good, and underweight's not good. We try to find a middle, and we don't know anymore. Sorry. Hermione, Ron, and Draco were able to keep Harry awake relatively in all his classes, but in Transfiguration, Harry completely fell asleep. Minerva tests Harry out a little by levitating his head off the table, then dropping him down. He didn't budge an inch. Minerva sighed. Mr. Draco, please carry Mr. Potter back to his dorm. He's too tired and should rest up, Minerva told him. Draco picked Harry up, and he carried him back to their dorm. Draco was able to wake Harry enough so he could undress himself and dress himself in his pajamas. Harry climbed into their bed, and Draco sat up in the bed next to him. Harry laid his head on Draco's lap and fell asleep. Draco acquired a book labeled Rare Plants and How to Grow Them. He read until dinner was over. Hermione and Ron knocked on their door, and Draco let them in. They both carried a tray of dinner. Draco smiled at the gesture. Harry, can you wake up? Wake up? You really need to eat some food, Draco told him. Harry sat up and stretched a little. What time is it? He asked. Harry giggled. After dinner. You slept on and off the entire day. You were carried around like a child, she said, amused. She handed Harry his tray. Thank you, he thanked. Huh. I don't know what it is. I have a divot right there where there's extra skin, and I'm trying to get it, and I can't get it. It's peeing me off. I have something to compare at the end of this chapter. Ron gave Draco his tray, which he gladly accepted. The two finished eating and laid their trays on their nightstand. Harry immediately fell asleep after dinner. He wrapped his arms around Draco's waist and fell asleep. Draco nudged him a little, but he didn't budge. He's like me when I'm asleep. I don't effing wake up, okay? People will try to wake me up. They literally have to make sure I am my eyes are open. I'm talking in fluent sentences. I have to say more than one thing because my subconscious answers people. My mom tried to talk to me in the morning. I don't remember a single thing. Wake up. She's 9:30. I'm not awake yet. I wasn't even awake until 10:30. My mom is leaving for work. She's like, get the dishes. And I'm like, okay. She thought I was awake. Nope. Zoned out. Wasn't awake until an hour later. So, I've been catching my subconscious doing some weird things, though. My dad sent me a picture of what he would look like in 20 years. And I said, cursed image. And it hurt his feelings. And I went, how dare I? I kind of remember doing it, though. That is the problem, though. It was 9 o'clock when he sent it to me. Woke up. I kind of remember doing it. I don't remember. First time. What? I'm so confused now. Thank you for bringing the food. I've just been killing time while he slept, Draco told them. Hermione and Ron decided to study in the room with them, since it was quieter than the common room. They caught Draco up on Transfiguration and Care of Magical Beasts. When bedtime hit, Hermione and Ron went to their separate dorms, leaving Draco and Harry. Draco scooted down in the bed and snuggled up with Harry. He turned out the lights and fell asleep. Did someone say something? What about the... Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. They're doing it the next month. Someone's like, what about the leaf? They said that they couldn't really keep on doing it because it couldn't be a full month until after he transformed. So they're going to do it, I think, the starting day of that day. Yeah, someone says, what about the leaf? I know, right? Exactly. Harry will take the leaf the end of the month, remember? Yeah, that's what I thought, too. They had to do a whole another month because it wasn't a full 30 days. Cat, can you not? Not right now. Okay. But I had something to say. Isn't it kind of weird? In my story for Snarry, Draco's dead and Snape's alive. In this story, Draco's alive and Snape's dead. Something isn't right here. Is it just it wouldn't happen? Both of the romance wouldn't happen if the other one was alive? Conspiracy theory. No, I'm kidding. Call up Shane Dawson. What happened to Shane Dawson? I heard that he was canceled, but I don't know why. Do you guys know why he was canceled? he was, I didn't see anything wrong with what he, then again, I don't know what Twitter does anymore. I'm at the point where I don't give 2 shades of you know what at the, who cares? Cancel culture should be canceled itself. That's all I'm going to say. Here we go. Tricky bathroom time. Uh-oh. LOL, the title sounds freaky, but it's PG-13. Don't worry. Alex, you and me, we come up with the worst titles. If you've ever read my stories, I have the weirdest titles. Well, I think, wait a minute, I have to go look again. I think it was my title. Maybe it wasn't. Harry had started the training process as soon as he woke up. There we go. See, that's where it was. That's what happened. So it says, never mind. Yep, you just needed to wait 1 paragraph. Well, actually 1 sentence, but that works. Draco and Hermione helped cover for Harry, so Harry spent the month being relatively quiet with a leaf in his mouth. It was the full moon, and everyone was getting the bathroom ready. Bathroom? What the heck were they in the bathroom for? Harry started to get used to the moons, as he no longer had headaches and only felt fidgety. Oh, I felt fidgety all the time. Then again, the double shot coffee. Yeah, that wouldn't help, would it? It's a 15 fill ounce. Big one. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is with me today. Just want to talk and talk. I miss human interaction, that people will listen to me. Oh, I found my ring that I've been looking for over a year. It's my ring that is my coming of age ring to keep me purified until marriage. I don't know why I told you that. You guys are just so easy to talk to, I guess. Harry started to get used to the moons, so he no longer had headaches and only felt fidgety. He was going to delay his transformation by a complete... Oh, yeah. I'm a moron. They went to the bathroom because it had no windows. By the way, my bathroom has no windows, too. I completely understand that. But also, the most haunted place in the house is with the biggest window, which is downstairs. It's always cold down there, no matter freaking what time of the year. It's snowing, cold. It's hot as hell, like Satan literally put his butt cheeks on a rooftop. Yeah, it's cold. I think we have, I don't know how many ghosts down there. The lights flicker every so often. Also, I've been choked down there by someone. I've also been choked at my dad's house for some reason, too. Just all of a sudden, a spirit walked up, like pushed my door open, took 5 steps, and then I passed out. Right then and there, after like a force grabbed my neck, and I passed out. I just got out of the shower with only a towel wrapped around me. So I thought my dad came home early. I'm like, Dad, I'm still in my towel. And then I turn around and the door swings slowly 5 steps later, like a human person would step. And then all of a sudden I feel a force grab me through the neck. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like it hurt too much or what, but I passed out. Really weird shit, I guess. But my dad built the house himself, and no one had lived there before because the only house that was next door was Mrs. Ness's, and literally there was no other house around. It was all field. So, I don't know. Weird. He was going to delay his transformation by a couple hours, then remove the leaf once it passes midnight. It was 15 minutes until the sun would set and the moon rise. After you, Draco said. Harry himself, I can't even say Hermione. Hermione and Ron filed into the windowless bathroom. They closed the door. Ron took some towels, stuffed them in the door. Yeah, it's like you're gonna hotbox it. I'm sorry, you shouldn't know what that is. Demonetized. Just take the monetization out of this video. Just say hotboxing. Woo! If anyone knew what that was, or you don't know what that was, do not look it up. Don't look it up. It's like looking up Ronald Jeremy. Never look it up. My mom said he's a nasty, you-know-what actor. And I was like, what do you mean nasty? Because I've seen some, weird, anime, you-know-what. So I was like, how nasty? She's like, really nasty. He's greasy and, I'm like, so? I mean, have you seen what's out there, mother? I mean, for anime's sake. I'm sorry, I had to, educate you on that. If you don't know who that is, don't even look him up either. Into the windowless bathroom, and they closed the door. Ron took some towels and stuffed them in the door. Door cracks as absolutely no light. Wait, can you have, firelight? It just can't be moonlight, correct? Okay. I'm just dumb. But at the same time, I hate really dark places when I'm alone. Because I'm like, anything could grab me. I could fall and die, No one will find my body, Dark Descent. Have you ever seen that? That's my worst nightmare. Then again, I don't go outside. Or go to cave diving or explore any caves. Because I'm not stupid. First of all, no, I don't care if there's 6 of us. No. Maybe rock climbing, if it's a place Dark Descent, she led them to a cave they didn't even know existed. And she's like, I thought we could discover a cave. And you're like, you're so stupid. Right, Emmy? She's just facing away from me and doesn't care. I am so sorry. I'm so dumb. Okay, Hermione locked the door with a charm, then soundproofed the room. It was pitch black in the bathroom, but thankfully they had enough room. Harry downed the wolfsbane and held onto the vial. We can use Lumos for moments at a time, but we have to use it sparingly. I have a muggle timer with me, and it will beep once 4 hours have passed. That means midnight has passed, and you can take the leaf out, then transform. Wait, why can't we use... Is it any light will turn him into a vampire? As you can see, I was watching Resident Evil 8 being played. I ain't gonna lie. I do have a crush on, lady, I can't really say her name because I want to say the U on the end, but you don't say the U. I'm gonna call her Lady D. I wish I could be, taken care of by her. Not not Devil's Tangle way. I'm just saying that, could she be my sugar mama? You don't even have to touch me. I mean, we can spend time together. She would be a friend. But then I saw what she turned into and I was like, I still be her friend. In the afterlife, because, yeah. Anyways, Hermione explained to them. She had a timer around her neck on a string. Hermione and Ron sat in the corner, while Draco and Harry sat in another. Harry was sitting in Draco's lap and stared straight forward. Draco had his legs crisscrossed, and he wrapped... Do you guys remember crisscross applesauce? No one I remember it also as Indian style, but then all of a sudden it was racist. And I was like, okay. I mean, is it racist, only racist if it's mean in a bad way? Because I knew it as crisscross, as Indian style, because it was just Indian, how you see in movies that Indians cross their legs. That's what I just thought they did. That they just crossed their legs. And I didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm just wondering what's racist and what isn't anymore. Harry was sitting in Draco's lap and started, wrapped his legs around Harry's waist. Are you all right so far? Draco asked. Harry nodded his head shakily. Yeah, just feeling a little anxious, Harry told him. He lied. Harry was having a full-on panic attack on the inside. Harry was so scared that something bad would happen. 10 minutes passed. The sun should be completely set by now. We have 4 hours to go, Harry told everyone. Stop telling us that. Like, what are you... Wait, what century is this in? Is this still like with... when phones are not a thing, like cell phones? Because I'd be playing, I don't care if I have like a flip phone, I'd be playing Snake. 4 hours? Play Snake with everyone, duh. Ron told everyone. Everyone just sat there anxiously and waited for the timer to go off. An hour passed. Harry started to feel sore everywhere. Uh-oh. It was like someone beating him up. He was covered in bruises. Harry, are you okay? Hermione asked. She heard him breathing a bit more loudly. I feel like I was beaten up. My bones are so sore. I don't think you would feel your bones. It's necessarily your, what you would be feeling is more of your, why am I correcting a story? I'm sorry. It's more of your muscles feeling sore than anything, because your bones, they have nerves around them. They have nerves inside them, but I'm not going to explain it, because then it would be too sciencey and you would be like, what? Harry said tiredly. It was taking a toll on his body. Hold on, just 3 more hours to go, Draco assured him. Draco read about a werewolf delaying their transformation, and that it would be slowly painful progression. Well, damn, okay. The group just sat and waited. Once it felt like another 2 hours had passed, Hermione tried to check her timer. Ron used his body as much as he could to shield the light from Harry, although Harry groaned loudly when Hermione lit her wand. She quickly turned it off. We have 45 minutes left. Oh, thank goodness. Almost there, she said. Everyone waited. It was at the 30-minute mark that the pain became excruciating. Wait, why didn't you... Draco, you did research on that it will feel painful. Why didn't you think about, maybe a pain potion? Looking through Snape's stuff and all. Unless that delays the wolfsbane. Am I the only one that thought of that? I'm thinking of this the whole time. Like, why didn't you take a pain potion? Because that's a thing in the other story. But I also thought it was a thing in this universe. Sorry. Going on. Harry got off Draco's lap and he curled on the ground, clutching his sides. He could feel his bones moving in and out of place. I could feel my hip move in and out of place. I know how hard it feels like that. That's why I can't ride horses. My hip moves out of place. His body was trying to transform but wouldn't. The prolonged pain made tears run down his face. Draco and Ron laid a hand on him, but felt his bones move under his skin and moved away. Damn, how rude. Sorry, I read a comment. Just hang in there, sweetie, Draco said, his voice shaky. It killed him that Harry was in so much pain. He couldn't do anything. His eyes were teary and he sniffed a lot. Hang in there, Hair Bear. What the heck? Okay. This is hold for reported and offensive and under review. I am scared, as you can tell. They better have transformed into their Megas because I don't want them to get hurt. So he's basically feeling the pain of a period. Well, shit. I never thought of that. Yes, feel bad for the lad. Me too. It's so similar to my first experience. Wait, what? Poor Harry, the second period always sucks. It does. First one, you don't even know it's there. You can say that again. Periods suck in general. True. Damn. Okay, now I'm crying. Yeah. You're doing great, sweetie. Don't clap. He's terrible. Wait, what? What the hell do you mean? I didn't get why she said that to the other person. Ron rubbed Draco's back a little to comfort him. 10 minutes to midnight, and Harry was screaming in pain. He felt his own skull fragments move. Don't correct it. Don't correct it. Don't correct it. Move in and out of place. Sorry, it's not fragments. Every sound and smell was amplified 10 times more than usual. He couldn't even think over the noise. He heard every breath, every heartbeat, every article of clothing move, every one of his bones popping and cracking. Draco transformed, used his night vision to see what was wrong with Harry. The sight almost made him retch. Oh my gosh. Harry's bone be like intense popping and locking sounds. You mother... Popping and locking? Isn't that a dance move? Oh, freaking A. Ouch, that pained me. It was like Harry's body expanded, then reversed, then expanded again. I'm thinking about the only cans right now. Not fans, cans. It's a video game. About that extra can. If you've never seen Game Theory, you will never... You won't know what I'm talking about. Or ever played the game. Or ever know about what happened. It's reminding me of the last can. Finally, Harry passed out from the pain, but his body still kept moving. Draco transformed into his normal self and found the vial that Harry dropped. The timer started to beep. "Quick, remove it!" Hermione exclaimed. Urgently, Draco reached into her... Come here, babe! That's so rude. Draco reached into Harry's mouth and took the leaf out, placed it in the vial, and closed it with the cork. He placed the vial in the sink. Then everyone transformed. Hermione flew onto the counter, and Ron bit the towels and yanked them out the doorway, letting the moonlight fill in. They watched Harry. Even though he was passed out, he transformed into a werewolf and continued to sleep. Once they knew it was done, Draco curled up next to Harry and Hermione leaned up against Ron. Everyone tried their best to sleep after all the excitement. They waited until sunrise. Hermione was awake when the sunlight flooded the room. She had trouble sleeping as an owl since they were nocturnal. She watched Harry transform back into himself, and she screeched out a little to wake up the others. They all transformed back into themselves, and they opened the door. Draco carried the sleeping Harry and laid him on the bed. Draco placed the leaf into the potion and watched it disappear. "We did it," Hermione said, exhausted. She yawned loudly. "I didn't sleep at all last night. Damn nocturnal senses," she cursed under her breath. "I think we should bring him to Madame Pomfrey." It sounded like he was under the Crucius curse. He might need something to help him out," Ron commented. He was still worried about Harry. He was in major pain last night. Draco agreed. "Plus, I need something for my headache. It almost hurts to think," Draco said. "Oh, I have had those type of headaches all the time. Yeah. My mom always comes around and says, 'You make my head hurt.' And I said, 'Mom, I have a headache.' And she goes, 'My head would hurt if I had a face like yours.' And I went, 'Oh, that's nice.'" He picked Harry up, bridal style, and carried him to Madame Pomfrey. Ron and Hermione trailed after him. They were too tired to care if they missed class. When they got there, Madame Pomfrey was at her desk with some paperwork. All the beds were empty. "What can I help you with?" Madame Pomfrey asked. She looked up from her desk and saw Harry wrapped in a blanket sheet. The other three looked absolutely tired. "Lay him on the bed." Draco went to one of the beds and laid Harry down. Madame Pomfrey grabbed some blankets and pulled them on Harry. She waved her wand over Harry's body and sighed. "What made you think it was a good idea to delay his cycle? It's extremely painful," Madame Pomfrey scolded them. "I tried to tell him not to do it, but he wouldn't listen," Ron told her. She just shook her head and grabbed a potion for Harry. As they waited for Harry to be completely tended to, Hermione started to close her eyes ever so slowly. Her head dipped a little, and she sprung back awake. "What's wrong?" Ron asked her. Just wake me up," Hermione yawned. She sat down on the bed next to Harry to take a break from standing. "Nocturnal animagus are tricky things. You can never get a good night's sleep," Madame Pomfrey commented as she checked over Harry again. "How did you know?" Ron asked, amazed. She chuckled a little. "Miss Granger has a feather sticking out of her ankle." She chuckled lightly. Hermione looked down and, sure enough, forgot one of her feathers was protruding from her ankle. She plucked it and laid it on the table. "You're right. I haven't been sleeping well the past month. Last night I didn't sleep at all as an owl," she said. "Do you think we could get something for our headaches as well?" Draco asked Madame Pomfrey. She nodded her head and fetched something for pain relief. "See? Sorry. Why didn't they use that on Harry?" Why? It would hurt less when he was going through the pain of everything. She nodded her head and fetched them some pain relief. She gave Hermione an extra potion. "You can take the other one when you go to your dorm. I suggest you skip class and catch up on some sleep. You'll pass out at this rate," she told her. Hermione thanked her and took the vial. Ron and Hermione left to go back to their dorms, while Draco stayed with Harry. He didn't want to leave him, and he wasn't too tired. He wasn't too tired as it was. He just pulled up a chair and waited. When Hermione and Ron got back to their dorms. Ron tried out an idea, although he was skeptical that it would work. Hey, Hermione, I'll stay with you if you want. To keep you company, that's all. Ron asked, nervously scratching the back of his neck. Hermione blushed. Sure. They went into Hermione and Luna's dorm and they laid on Hermione's bed. Thankfully, everyone was in class and wouldn't be for a while. Hermione downed the potion and laid in bed. Ron laid next to her and wrapped his arms around her. What are you doing? Uh-oh. What are you doing? Hermione giggled. Ron shrugged his shoulders. It's a small bed. Wouldn't want you to fall off, he excused. Hermione was too tired to retort anything back. She just got comfy against Ron's chest and fell asleep. Ron fell asleep a little after. I have a bad feeling about that. It made me think that, I ain't gonna say it, but if he was gonna do something to her in bed. Sorry. Am I wrong here? Am I the only one that thought that? Like, he was like, oh, I have a plan for something. And I was like, oh, no. And when I heard, like, oh, can I, like, keep you company? And I was like, oh, no. Harry finally woke up a couple hours later. I'm sorry I have these bad thoughts, but it just happens. He was a lot more awake from usual, although his body was just a little sore. Draco sat up and rubbed his eyes. Finally, wondering when you'd wake up, Draco said. Harry sat up and looked around. Where is everyone? Harry asked. Sleeping. Hermione needed to sleep since she's been having trouble. Ron is probably keeping her company, Draco told him. Draco pulled some clothes out of a bag. I went back to get you some clothes so you could walk back to the dorms without having to wear a blanket, Draco teased. Harry climbed into his clothes and was ready to leave. How are you feeling? Madame Pomfrey asked, as she came over to him. Good. A little sore, but barely noticeable, Harry told her. She checked him off and allowed him to leave. Draco and Harry walked back to the common room to get a shower and ready for dinner. Harry went over to Hermione's door and knocked lightly. Hermione, are you there? I'm coming in, he said. The door was unlocked. He opened and saw Ron and Hermione wrapped around each other, sleeping. Draco came over to look and smirked. Harry nudged the two a little, no, take a picture before you wake him up. No, you can have blackmail on him. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Do not take that seriously. If you do that, I will find you. Don't do that. But I mean, just to tease them a little bit and be like, here's your background picture for you too. Ron and Hermione wrapped around each other. Draco came over to look and smirked. Harry nudged the two a little to get them up. They probably didn't eat breakfast, so they would be hungry by now. Wake up! We have to eat dinner, Harry told them. They finally woke up and stretched. Ron actually stretched so much that he fell off the bed. Draco laughed at him, but tried to mask it. Ow! He grunted. Ron got up from the floor. Look who's falling off the bed now, Hermione snickered. The group left to get to dinner early and eat. Everyone was extremely hungry, even Neville and Luna. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Harry asked the two. They shook their heads. No, you didn't show up, so we skipped since we knew you were skipping. Wait, no, you didn't show up, so we skipped since you were skipping, Luna said dreamily. Yeah, you wouldn't eat we wouldn't eat without you, Neville smiled. He's such a sweetheart. I'm sorry. I never heard of a bad Neville story or him being an evil guy. He's always like a sweet little cutie. Like, when he was like really young, he had those pinchable cheeks. Oh, I'm such an old lady. Everyone ate and left to get back to the common room and study for what they had missed. Thankfully, Luna and Neville took notes for them. They split off to their dorms to get dressed for... Can you stop eating my yarn? That is supposed to be a scarf for Luna. Stop it. That is not something you should be nibbling on. Nibble on the other one that I gave you. The other ball of yarn that you stole from me. Everyone split into their dorms to get dressed for bed. Harry drank the potion and recited the incantation before climbing into bed with Draco. "Good night, love," Draco said. "Good night," Harry repeated back. What was the comment? My girlfriend calls me love, and I haven't seen her in a long time, and now I'm sad. Aww. I called my girlfriend love. Smiles. I called my girlfriend love. Well, smiles sadly. These two need to, like, talk to their girlfriends or meet their girlfriends. I'm like, jeez. That's sad. Haha. Still not good at ending chapters. You're not a bad writer! Alex, stop! I just scared the crap out of my cat because I'm yelling. Don't keep on... You know what? Contact this person and keep on telling them you're not a bad writer and you don't write bad endings. Okay? Tell them that. Haha, still not good at writing ending chapters, but I've been so stressed with school. It sucks. But hey, I'm an officer now, so I got a lot of extra... Ooh, so they're a senior. You can be a junior and be an officer. I think what they mean... Well, what type of officer? Are you mean in the army? Which you could be a student for, like a junior, or going into senior year... Or officer as in police officer. Now, so I got an extra thing to do in my break time. So I will be releasing chapters probably twice or thrice a week. Only on weekends or schoolless day. Alex. Now, this is another mystery. Is Alex an officer, like a police officer, or a soldier officer? Because I used to... You know what? I used to date a couple officers. Not at the same time. One of them was a complete you-know-what. What the... Are you? How much time do I have left? Perfect title, Alex. Love this. Oh, and it's even as long as a Snarry chapter. It's mostly bold print. We got this. What the are you? I'm into this new chapter, and it gonna be lit. By the way, the stuff I talk about is legit. I looked up the creature that I wrote, pretty much what I found. Tickle fights are actually a thing they do. Huh? I'm so confused. Was there a fight of like what Alex did? Well, I'm sorry. I keep on gendering Alex as a he, but it could be a she or an it. I'm sorry about that. I keep on doing that. It's just really masculine writing. You know what I mean? Harry James Potter, why would you ever do such a thing? You could have majorly hurt yourself and someone else. Don't let me ever find out from Madame Pomfrey that you did this again. I love you, Harry. And oh, Ron, you should come and visit me soon. We all miss you, both. Love, Molly. The howler finished. I'm sorry I scared you. I scared my cat, and she was like, what the hell did I do now? We all miss you. Howler finished. It crumbled away into nothingness, and Harry smacked his head on the table from embarrassment. It's worse than a facepalm, let's just say that. Molly found out about what he did the last moon from Madame Pomfrey. Everyone was laughing their asses off at the howler. Draco tried to comfort Harry a little bit, but he couldn't help but laugh as well. That's me. I'm that type of friend. When something is funny, I will laugh, but I don't mean in a mean spirit. I'm just saying it's funny. So don't do stupid shit and I won't laugh. Don't worry, Harry. It's not that bad, Draco said, although he laughed while saying this. Oh, Harry groaned. They finished eating and headed outside. They had a free day since a lot of teachers were out because of vacation. Usually during the springtime. Oh, it's already spring. I thought it was... They skipped Halloween and December and one of my favorite holidays, Christmas. Why? Because then you have a reason to drink eggnog. Really stuff yourself, and I'm not talking about the turkey, with food and presents. And the reason why I celebrate it, you might not. A lot of people celebrate it with Hanukkah. Whatever. Whatever you celebrate it, and that's your choice. Everyone headed to the public greenhouse. Wait, what? I think I went ahead like... Oh, here it is. Usually during the springtime, the teachers used their vacation to be with family, and Minerva couldn't find any replacement in time. Everyone headed to the greenhouses. Professor Sprout needed to rebuild the old greenhouse since it was wrecked. So it was replaced with a bigger and more vibrant greenhouse. It looked like a big house made entirely with glass. I know that type of house. Watch 13 Ghosts, the 2001 version. Sadly, when they were doing reshoots, the cast, one of the ghosts was completely naked, and it was actually right on the day of 9/11, and I can't imagine what is going through your head when you're redoing reshoots on that day, because they know it's happening. They can't do anything about it. They're just acting, and I wonder what's going through the actors' minds. One of them had to be completely naked, so that was cold. But then again, they were in Hollywood at the time, I think. So, I do recommend it, though. It's a really good movie. Inside, plants hung from the roof, and flowers were placed everywhere. It was a place that Harry really liked going to recently. The flowers looked so pretty, and the small carnivorous plants were fun to feed. Harry would often bring leftover food and fed the meat-eating plants while no one was looking. I don't know what you see in this place. It's just a glorified greenhouse, Ron said. He put his finger close to one of the plants, and it tried to bite him. He snatched his finger away and continued to walk. Draco sneezed. The pollen is horrendous in here, he commented. Hermione walked around with Harry and studied the plants. Marvelous creatures, aren't they? Harry said to Hermione. She agreed. They are, but I've never seen you so interested in plants. Before, the only plant that interested you was a broom. What? That's a plant? Now you're like the plant whisperer or something, Hermione said. Harry just hummed in agreement. He sat down in his usual spot, which was a patch of green with some magical flower sprouts along the edges. Harry took a piece of bacon out of his bag and dangled it in front of the flower. Ron watched in horror as the mouth sprung open for the flower to devour the bacon strip. He never did like those flowers. That's mental, Ron said. Harry chuckled and pet the flower. It moved moved into his touch, like it was a dog, like a dog would. The plants love you, Draco smiled. Hermione and Draco sat down on the grass and fed the flowers while Ron was content staying off the side away from the weird flowers. Ron saw a really cool-looking miniature tree. It was moving its tiny branches around gently. He moved his hand close to the small tree, and it smacked his fingers away. Bloody hell! None of these plants like me, Ron said as he rubbed his hand. Harry walked over to the small tree. This is amazing! It's a baby whomping willow. That's why it frickin' slapped your hand away, you moron! It's just a whomping willow. They do that all the time, Harry exclaimed. I said that. Harry exclaimed happily. He picked up the plot at the... He lost the plot. That's pretty much what it is. And picked up the pot and carried it with him back to the patch of grass. He sat down with the little tree, took out a small bottle with a dropper. He dropped a couple of drops of sugar water into the pot. What is that? Hermione asked, pointing to the small bottle. Sugar water, Harry told her. You just keep sugar water in your pocket all day? Draco asked, amused. Harry nodded enthusiastically. There are not that many plants that don't enjoy a little sugar water. The only plant I don't give sugar water to are the Magnamolophytes. Harry said, gesturing to the cute carnivorous flowers. They prefer salt water. Harry laughed. Ron and Hermione looked around the greenhouse and found something. I don't believe they have catnip, Hermione said. That would be... You don't need the devil's lettuce in this house. You just need catnip for who was it? For Draco. Basically, that's what it is. It's the devil's lettuce for cats. I guess, if you really think about it. They just go nuts over it. My cat doesn't like catnip, so that's really weird. She is a really weird person, though. She likes the smell of dog. She hates the smell of cat. Well, she doesn't mind the smell of dog. She likes dogs. The dog that my mom's girlfriend brings over, well, not girlfriend, like girlfriend, just girlfriend as in friend, brings over is like a Pomeranian mix. She's like a big, small dog, And she is just a beauty. And she sniffs all over. She licked me, so I was like, what the heck is licking me? And I just turn around and there's a Pomeranian. I'm like, Mom, did you get a dog? I wanted a dog, but you said we couldn't take care of one because we're lazy. Hermione said she saw the familiar plant growing in the recycled plastic bin. What's catnip? Oh my gosh, Ron, seriously? Ron asked her. He poked it, but was relieved that it didn't move or bite. It's what you give to a cat to make them more playful and happy, Hermione summed up. She picked the bottle up and carried it over to Draco with a smirk on her face. Hey, Draco, can you smell this for me? Hermione asked. She handed Draco the plant. Draco shrugged his shoulders and sniffed it. It had a weird smell, but Draco loved it. "What is this?" Draco asked. He kept on sniffing it. He giggled a lot the more he smelled the plant. Hermione was on her ass laughing. Ron finally made the connection between the two and was laughing as well. "It's catnip!" Hermione exclaimed while giggling. Draco laughed. "Good one," he said, although he still held on to the bottle and kept it close to him. Draco heard a little noise, although no one else heard it. He held his hand up to quiet everyone else, and he looked around. Ever since he became an Animagus, he had better hearing. He placed the bottle down and stood up to survey the area. Everyone heard a bottle fall down and break. "Show yourself!" Draco echoed through the greenhouse. They heard a familiar female laugh and saw Professor Sprout show herself behind a green tree. "Caught me, didn't you?" she chuckled. She repaired the bottle that dropped and walked over to them. "Tell me, how long were you aware of my presence?" she asked Draco. "I felt someone else in here every day, but I never heard you until today," Draco told her. She smiled. "I love watching the students watch the plants. I love the new greenhouse, and a couple of my more interested students would come here to feed the plants. You four and Neville are my most frequent comers. Although Neville draws the flowers instead of actually interacting with them," she told them. She picked the light Whomping Willow off the floor. "You seem to have a way with Wilda. She only seems to take a liking to you," Professor Sprout pointed out. "The miniature Whomping Willow, Wilda, is swinging her branches around, trying to hit Professor Sprout. Harry took Wilda back and calmed her down. "Her name's Wilda?" "It's a pretty name," Harry told her. "I need another drink because my throat is sore." Shouldn't be drinking that. Still drinking coffee at 7 o'clock. Shouldn't be doing that. Harry told her. He gently raised her branches. "Aren't Whomping Willows supposed to be violent towards anyone? How come Harry is an exception?" Ron asked the professor. She shrugged her shoulders. "I have been asking myself this for weeks. There's never really any records of someone befriending a Whomping Willow. They only have forest animals and other magical creatures. Even then, they can distinguish an Animagus from a normal animal." Professor Sprout answered. "Well, feel free to... Wait, well, isn't a werewolf a natural animal? Maybe because he's the only werewolf. That's why, well, the Whomping Willow can sense that he's a werewolf and is taking care of her, so it's a natural animal." I'm connecting dots that probably shouldn't be connected, but... "I'm going to head over to visit Miss McGonagall for a cup of tea. I need to figure out what to do with the other Whomping Willow. He's close to his ending," she said. She left the group and exited the greenhouse. "It's a bit peculiar," Hermione commented. Her mind sparked an idea. What if your Animagus is an animal that is close to nature, like a hummingbird or a snake? Damn it, I wanted Draco to be the snake, not You understand why, right? He can say, can I slither in? He can already say that, but I mean, like, it's even a double joke because he's a snake. But that's not the only reason. Can I get into your chamber secrets? I don't need friends, I just need myself. That's sad. Ron thought aloud. Harry didn't know. That's not a problem. Professor Sprout said it knows the difference between an Omegus and an animal. Today is my last day of training, and I trained this morning. Maybe we can find out what Omegus I am. Harry said. They agreed. Draco casted a couple of charms around the greenhouse to make themselves undetectable. Go on, try it, Ron encouraged. Harry placed the Whomping Willow next to him, and he concentrated hard. He sat there for a couple of minutes in pure silence. Soon, Harry started to grow in size. The others backed up to give him some room. Harry got taller, but then his head started to morph into a stag skull. His body was wrapped in tree branches. He had tree trunk-like feet. He had a torn-up piece of cloth loosely wrapped around his head, and a piece of cloth wrapping around his waist. Is he I was gonna say a centaur, but then it said he was like a tree. Is he like the talking trees from Lord of the Rings? Which were kind of my favorite characters too, because they were amazing. Harry looked weird, unique, and beautiful, all at once. He had a couple of blue and green flowers protrude out of his branches. So he's it was like his body was just intertwined branches. What the is that? Ron asked aloud. Harry stood 7 feet tall, not as big as Mother Miranda. No, not Mother Miranda. Lady D. I can't say her name. Dimitrescu. There you go, Dimitrescu or Dimitrescu. I wish I could be beautiful as her and be someone who could be her friend or one of her daughters. Well, no, because her daughters, yeah. Never mind. Harry looked around the room in confusion. Zastomali? Harry asked. He sounded normal in his own ears, but the others heard him speaking another language. And with a kind of lower voice. We can't understand you, Draco told Harry. Harry cocked his head at an unusual angle, which just further freaked out Ron. Transform! Maybe he can't understand when we're like this, Hermione told everyone. They each turned into their Omegus form and attempted to speak to him again. Harry, can you understand us now? Ron yelled. Hermione smacked her wing on Ron's leg. He's not deaf, she scolded. Harry crouched down to their level. Can you understand me now? Harry asked. Yes. Before you sounded weird, like you were speaking another language, Draco told him. Oh. Oh, was all Harry said. He looked down at his body and scared himself. What the am I? I'm sorry. Isn't that the first thing you do? Not look at your friends. You just look down first. But that's... Not even him knows. Harry exclaimed. At least he wasn't a spider. Oh. We're sleeping in different beds. He stood up and backed into a table. He looked behind himself, and he could hear little voices. Be careful, or you might crash into us. You might crush us. He heard a little voice. Harry panicked and turned to his friends. The plants are talking to me! Harry exclaimed. Ron chuckled. I think you're hearing things. Plants can't talk. Ron laughed. Harry continued to panic. He got dangerously close to the Magnifitus, and he heard a loud voice. Be careful! Don't crush me! Wait. Be careful! Don't crush me! It yelled, warningly in a light-pitched voice. Harry screamed and pointed to the flower. It just spoke to me! He yelled. Harry sat down and hugged his knees. Calm down, just transform back into yourself, Hermione told him. Harry nodded and breathed. Ron just still laughing during the entire ordeal. What made it funny was Harry's voice from everywhere, so it echoed a little. Harry's stag jaw thing never moved while he was talking. It reminds me of Magus Bride. Maybe he's Magus Bride. Thorn. He might be Thorn. Thorn Mage. He might be a Thorn Mage. Sorry. He doesn't even know what he is either. Did they take inspiration from Magus Bride? Because he was one of my favorite characters too. I was just waiting. Wait, when are you going to have kids? They do like the blondes. The king is so fucking memeable. You know what? Someone send me a meme of that. I need that in my life. The king being a meme. Harry finally concentrated and turned back into himself. Hermione took down the charms in the greenhouse. What was I? Harry panicked. He was breathing hard and having a panic attack. Draco pulled him into a hug to calm him down. Well, obviously, your Magus is a magical creature. Thorn! He's a Thorn Mage! Just say Thorn Mage! What are other people saying? This is like the other fanfic. You didn't effing finish, Alex, where he became a smoke fox or some shit. I am still mad at you, and I will always be bitch watch. I will always bitch watch out. Watch the out. I'ma kill you. Whoa, death threat. Bad. Why is it always Harry? Yeah, like, why is it always Harry? Like, he doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Or what he is. I mean, is that, like, it's a reoccurring thing in the movies? Is it a reoccurring thing in the books? I should really read Harry Potter on my channel. Just the straight-up books. Because I do have 1 through 3, I think. Call me crazy, all you want. But the plants, talk to me, Harry said. He got close to the carnivorous flowers and petted them. They didn't talk or act like any differently. Maybe you should see McGonagall about this. Or maybe Professor Sprout, Ron suggested. Hermione shook her head. Why does it keep on mixing pronouns? Shook her head. We can't while he's unregistered. We'll need to figure out what he is, otherwise he needs to register himself. Well, just go to McGonagall and say, what the hell am I, so I can register? Basically it. Hermione told Ron. They agreed. How about we go now? No one is going to be in the library since it's a free day. Draco suggested. Well, no one other than the, like, Ravenclaws and, you know. Hey, stereotypical. Harry agreed enthusiastically, and they left to go to the library. When they got... Yes! This is what... I'll show a picture of it right now, but Draco suggested. Harry agreed enthusiastically, and they left to go to the library. When they got there, Hermione went to talk to the librarian. "Excuse me, I was wondering where would the foreign magical creatures be? I'm looking for one seems Slavic," Hermione asked politely. The librarian pointed to a bookcase towards the back. Hermione thanked her, and the group walked over. Hermione started to search for the book. She found 3 books. One, there was a Croatian creatures, one Serbian creatures, and one about Bosnian creatures. These actually sound like real names, so if I'm screwing their names up and you actually live there, I am sorry. You know how bad my literacy is. She gave Draco the one in Bosniana. No, bad. Bosnia. Close enough. Harry and Ron looked at the Croatian one together, and Hermione looked at the Serbian one. They spent hours skimming through the thick books, but soon Draco found something. He pointed to the old drawing of the Bosnian book. "I found it," he whispered excitedly, "and this will be the picture. Share." No, can I save it? That's my question. You know what? Thank God for screenshots. I'm at this point, I'm on the edge of everything. I wonder if this is an actual book with these actual... Yes, it's not a real thing, but I wonder if it's actually based on things. Like, sometimes fan fiction has, real conditions and things that happened. I'm wondering if this is one of them. They spent hours skimming through the thick books, but soon they found it. "I found it," he whispered excitedly. The caption of the picture was, they use gray wolves to do their bidding. "It's amazing," Harry said. Hermione read aloud the text. "A Lishi, commonly called Father Nature, is a Slavic creature from mythology. Although Muggles do not believe in the Lishi lore anymore, wizards and witches have seen the creature while wandering the woods of any Slavic forest." No kidding. Commonly known as Father Nature. That's why he's so common with all the things. His animagus is Father Nature. Have seen the creature while wandering the woods of any Slavic forest. Usually introverted Lishis take care of a forest and can speak to animals and plants. They speak only Slavic languages and reside near packs of gray wolves. Lishis are wolves. Great! Werewolf. Cool. Are described as tall creatures made of mossy branches and with a skull and antlers of a stag as a head. And old cloth wrapped around their waist and head. Oh, like a hood and something to protect their privates. Okay, got it. I was like, I'm looking at the picture, that's why. Leashes have the particular skill of transforming into different animals. Well, damn, he got the good side of shit, doesn't he? It's always Harry Potter. He always get the good shit. I'm sorry, I'm saying the S word. At least I didn't say the F word. An old cloth, yeah, whatever, we got that. Leashes do not care much for travelers that litter and defile their forest. They will confuse the wanderer until they beg for forgiveness. Another trait of them is they don't know when to stop whilst having fun. Same. They are not aware that their tickle fights are deadly if carried on too long. Tickle fights, which is like tickling someone, right? I have to look that up. This can cause them to kill the traveler. Oh! So they aggressively kill people with the tickle. Leashes are somewhat unknown creatures, and many people are not educated on their existence. There have been a couple of recorded witches and wizards turning into leashes as their omegas. But this is reserved for people who have Slavic blood in them. Okay, I think your mother cheated. Kidding. Bad joke. They have been a couple of record leashes are considered contact creatures, meaning wizards and witches are not allowed to have connections with them unless approached. Beast poachers and collectors are not allowed to kill or capture leashes, since they are considered endangered creatures. Hermione finished reading the page, as that was all that was written. Bloody hell, Ron said. Damn, Draco commented. So we must be a couple of lucky wizards to have seen a leashy, huh? Draco said lightly. Well, that's what my head looked like? Harry said as he stared at the drawing. It looked weird and cool. It's cool that you had flowers, though. It made you seem a lot less threatening, even given your size and stature. Like the robots in Castle in the Sky, when they had like little flowers or they had a animal on them. It was really cute. I wasn't too scary, right? I don't want to scare anyone or any more than I already do. Harry asked the others. They shook their heads. It just shocked us for a second. But we weren't scared, just unique. You were just unique, Draco told them. He kissed Harry on the cheek. You looked beautiful. Harry blushed. And now we should go tell McGonagall, right? Ron said. Harry shook his head. He had a crazy idea, but he knew it would work. Follow me, Harry said. He placed the book back and everyone followed him outside. He started to run towards the stone bridge and crossed the deep valley and which separated the school grounds from the villages. What are you doing? Hermione yelled while panting. She wasn't the most active person of the group, but she ran as fast as she could. I don't run, sweetheart. I jog. I'm only running when there's a zombie apocalypse. But you don't believe in the zombie apocalypse. Exactly. They all crossed the bridge and were right at the border of the magical barrier. We'll leave the grounds and apparate to the burrow and tell Molly and Arthur, he summed up quickly. He was running on adrenaline from all the exercise. Are you crazy? We could get in trouble, Draco exclaimed. Let's do it, Ron said. He was all for leaving Hogwarts to visit home. Plus, he didn't mind getting in trouble. Just trust me. If anything, we'll get detention. But I doubt it since Minerva doesn't know, Harry told them. He waited for them to agree, while they finally gave in. They crossed the barrier, and they all disapparated to the outskirts of the burrow. When they got to the familiar grassy fields, they saw the burrow in the distance. "We have an idea for a little prank," Ron said. He explained it, and then everyone but Harry ran towards the house. Don't do that. They'll actually hurt him. When Hermione and Ron and Draco ran to the door, they started knocking hurriedly on the door. "Mom! Dad! Open up! Quickly! There's something in the fields!" Ron shouted. They heard some voices. Arthur opened the door and let the three in. "What happened? And why are you here?" Arthur asked quickly. Hermione and Draco dragged him in to where the window was. "Look! There's something giant in the fields! And it was chasing us," Draco explained. "I can't keep a straight face." No. He couldn't see any creature or person, but he saw the grass move as someone or something was moving towards the house. He whipped his wand out and opened the door. "Stay inside," he said. "Are you playing in the boxes again? Huh, Emmy?" She stopped moving when I said her name. "Stay inside," he said. Arthur closed the door and watched the grass. George came down the stairs. "What happened? What's wrong?" he asked. Ron laughed. "We're playing a prank on Dad. Come over here and watch," Ron told him. George stood next to them and watched Arthur through the window. "What's that in the grass?" George asked. "Just wait, you'll see enough," Draco said with a smirk. George nodded his head and watched his dad. Arthur walked a little forward and kept his eyes on the moving grass. It was getting closer and closer towards the house. Arthur prepared himself and was ready to shoot. The grass stopped moving, and Arthur waited in suspense. And then out jumped a bunny with little antlers. "No, you assholes!" The sudden movement when Arthur screamed from being startled, which made everyone inside laugh. George was laughing at him as well. "Watch, it gets better," Ron said. They all watched. Arthur started to laugh, and he pointed towards the jackalope. "This is what was so frightening," Arthur yelled to them from the grass. When his head was turned, Harry turned into a lion. George watched as Arthur looked back and screamed again. No! Which made Arthur start to run. Again at the lion just standing, looked back and screamed again at the lion just standing there. Harry roared, which made Arthur start to run. Harry started chasing him. Hermione, Draco, and Ron and George ran outside to watch Arthur get chased by a lion. "Who is it?" George asked, laughing. "It's Harry!" Hermione giggled. Harry stopped chasing Arthur and transformed back into himself. "Arthur, come back! I didn't mean to scare you that bad. You know, 100% Arthur shat himself." I'm sorry. I'm crying. Because I can actually picture this happening. This is what I want a recreation for. My 19th birthday. I want this to happen. I want someone to play actors in my backyard. And it's pretty huge. And I want this for my 19th birthday. This would be amazing. This is all I ask. Harry yelled after Arthur. Arthur stopped and looked back at Harry. "You got me." Arthur started to laugh. He hugged Harry. Then he walked over to hug the others. Everyone went back inside, and Hermione made some tea for everyone. So, how did you do it? Animagus can't change into different animals like that. And Arthur said, Hermione handed everyone a cup of tea, and Harry started to explain. Okay, so I did become an Animagus, but the thing is, my Animagus is a shapeshifter of sorts, so I can be any animal I want, Harry told him. My Animagus is what you call a leashy, Harry said. Arthur nodded his head. I've heard of those once when we traveled to Europe. Travelers don't go into the woods because the leashies would confuse them or kill them, Arthur said. Exactly. Apparently, you can become a leashy if you have Slavic blood. Harry has always been mindful of all creatures, and he never hurt any animal to just hurt them. Holy shit, he hasn't. Now that I think about it, damn. Yeah, he didn't hurt the dragon. I don't think he actually hurt any spiders. But they were chasing him, so, yeah. I mean, he could have killed the werewolf, that too. But he didn't. And Harry was in appreciation for herbology, so it makes sense. I just have I have to figure out who in his family is Slavic, Draco told Arthur casually. He wasn't nervous about Arthur, just Molly was a little scary. You don't mess with Molly! I liked the one who played her. She was a perfect match. I can't think of her first name, but it's Walter. Something Walter is her real name. It'll come to me, but or Walker. No, it's Walter, isn't it? Last name, but whatever. Anyways, going on. Well, that's definitely a peculiar animagus. You should get yourself registered, especially since you'll need that protection. If someone finds out that you're a leashy, you're not registered, they might try to collect you, Arthur told him. Harry agreed. That's right. I was going to register myself today, but I wanted to catch Molly as well. Where is she? Harry asked. She's meeting up with her knitting club. Darn it, she missed the show. Wait, what if Arthur doesn't tell her that he turns into an Animagus, and then he can scare the crap out of her? But then again, he might get his ass beat. What do you say? Would you ask Arthur not to tell her and then just scare the crap out of her later? She's meeting up with her knitting club. She joined a while ago. You can go and register yourself, but by the time she comes back, she would be home, George told Harry. They said their goodbyes and everyone filed into the flue. Hermione grabbed the powder and they all flew into the ministry. When they got there, they moved around the crowds of people relatively unnoticed. They walked towards the spirit division and saw the familiar man that helped them out last time. When it was their turn, the man brought them into the back room. I was wondering when I'd see you again. You know what to do, he said, gesturing to the X painted on the floor. Harry walked over to it and, oh boy, stood on it. Ron gave him a thumbs up, and Harry transformed. He ended up punching over from the low ceiling. Oh my, the man said. Try sitting down on the floor and back up, the man told him. Harry sat down, crisscrossed, and tilted his head a little to avoid hitting the antlers on the ceiling. The man snapped the photo, and Harry transformed back. And here I'm thinking leashies were just myths made up by muggles. Sign your name here. The man gave him the paper. Have you transformed into any other animals? The man asked. Yeah, although my scars are visible, I looked exactly as how I would want to look, Harry told them. He turned into a stag, then a dog, then a cat, then a lion. They all looked normal, with no scars or markings. Really? So, well then, since you're endangered, I'll need you to go to the Beast Division again and register yourself. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, but going to that old man who's a rude piece of work, the man directed him once again. The group sighed, but said their goodbyes and made a trip to the Beast Division once more. Harry went into the line while the others waited for him. He chose a different line than he chose before to avoid meeting the same old guy. When he got to the front of the line, he was meet with a pretty young lady with blonde hair. She brought him to the back room where he documented himself. The entire process was a lot more enjoyable than before. When Harry was done, he found his friends, and they all headed to out of the ministry to Diagon Alley. I didn't fuck it up this time. Oh, I said the F word. Cancel me. Why are we here? Ron asked. They all started to walk. I wanted to find out who is Slavic in my family. And the Gringotts has the records of everyone. So, naturally, they would know. Did I roll my R? Harry told them. They all walked into the Gringotts, and they walked to the goblin sitting on his pedestal. What can I help you with? He sneered. I'd like to meet with the elf that manages the Potter house. I need to look through my family tree, Harry told him. The goblin sighed and called for You piece of crap. Ragnarok. Oh my gosh. Not spelled the same, but if you sound it out, it's Ragnarok. A small stubby gremlin gestured for the group to follow him. They all went into his office and sat down. My name is Ragnarok, and goblin who deals with the Potter estate. How can I help you today? What can I help for you, Mr. Potter? The goblin asked. I just had brain fart. The goblin asked Harry. Thank you for meeting with me. I need to figure out who in my family line is Slavic. I just recently found out that I can become a Leshy. Am I saying that wrong? Lessie? I'm just gonna call him Father of Nature because that's what I think he should be just called, and like to know who in my family is Slavic blood. Harry asked him. Ragnarok dug a long scroll out of his desk drawer and rolled it out on the table. It was long list of names. He waved his hand over it, and then a name lit up. No fucking way! No way is his ancestor. No way are they related. Oh my gosh. Well, it looks like Tom Riddle was Slavic. Ragnarok said. Everyone looked at the tree. Harry pointed out one name. Why is Tom Riddle a part of my family tree? How come Tom Riddle is Slavic? Harry said. It's because Morope Gunt married a Slavic muggle named Tom Riddle. She became Morope Riddle. Tom Riddle was the only child of the two, and he possessed Slavic blood. When the Dark Lord unknowingly made you his Horcrux, he possessed the Slavic blood that he did. The Gaunt family has always been a part of the Potter family. Son of a gun. The Gaunts are about as common as the Pivrol. Almost everyone is related to someone who was a Gaunt. You just happen to be a link that jumped a couple of generations. Ragnarok, the goblin explained to him. Oh, Harry said. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for helping me out, Ragnarok. I really appreciate it. Harry thanked him. The group left and flowed back to the burrow. When they got back home, Molly immediately greeted them. Welcome back! If you told me ahead of time that you'd be here, I would have waited. Molly apologized. She hugged everyone. It's all right. I had a couple of things to do anyways. But now that we are back, I can tell you the great news. Harry said. Everyone sat down and Molly was reading. I hope I hope he sits down first before he transforms. Harry said. Everyone sat down and Molly was reading to hear the news. Was waiting or reading to wait. I never heard of reading to hear the news. Does it mean waiting? I never heard it in that term, but then again, the English language is still not my first language. Jibber jabber is my first language. I became an Amagus, Harry told her happily. Molly clapped her hands together. That's fantastic. What Amagus are you? She asked. He stood up, moved to a cleared out room, and he sat down. Good job. And transformed into a Leshy. I'm going to call him Father of Nature. Father of Nature. He cocked his head a little so his antlers didn't hit the ceiling. Merlin's beard! What are you? She said, startled. Sorry, that sounded rude. She apologized. Draco spoke for him. Harry is a Leshy. It's a Slavic mythology creature. They can turn into any animal and pretty much are the king of the forest. Draco summed up. Draco turned into a cat, then a wolf, and then back into himself. I can be anything and I can talk to plants, Harry told her. Molly thought about it. I'm happy for you. It's just a bit hard to wrap around my head that's a real creature, I'm guessing. This is all, she said. Molly didn't really know what to say, so she decided to distract from the topic. That'd probably wrap her head around it. How about we all eat a late lunch together? She suggested. Are you gonna say who is Slavic in your family? We all want to hear that story. For fuck's sake! Help! Help! I need my mom. Mom, come get me. I'm not safe. Molly whipped up a quick lunch of warm sandwiches and fruit salads. Arthur and George joined, and they all ate lunch together. Catching up with each other. It was soon time for Harry and the others to leave. Why didn't they talk about who was Slavic in the family? Because I think that's important to know, that he's related to Voldemort, who tried to kill him. Damn. I'm sorry. It's just, isn't that kind of important? They needed to get back to school early, so no one would know they were gone. They failed to mention that they snuck off the grounds to be there. The group said their goodbyes and went outside to separate near the barrier. When they got there, Harry transformed into a hippogriff. What are you doing? Draco asked Harry. Harry bowed to Draco. He looked back at to his back. You want us to ride you? Harry asked, trying to clarify what Harry meant. Harry nodded his head. Draco climbed onto Harry's back. Then, did you hear that? My throat's getting a little sore, but we'll get there. I have to read the Snarry story after this, so great. Great. Fun. One asked, trying to clarify. Yeah. Harry's back, then Hermione, then Ron. Everyone held on tight, and Draco held onto Harry's neck. Harry started to run towards the valley. They jumped off the cliff. Everyone screamed, but soon stopped when they realized they were flying. Harry flapped his wings, and they all soared towards the empty Quidditch pitch. Harry landed and changed back into himself. Flying is so fun, Harry exclaimed. The rush was amazing. They all laughed together. It was fun, Draco admitted. Everyone headed inside to their common room and to hang out for a bit. They all had a light dinner, and then everyone headed to their dorms for the night. Harry wrapped his arms around Draco, and Draco nuzzled into Harry's chest. Good night, Draco said. Good night, Harry repeated back. I'm so glad this chapter ended. You can tell my voice is going into Voldemort, and that means my throat is very sore. I'm sorry. LOL. Dudes. I did research for this chapter. The only thing I improvised was the whole Tom Riddle being Slavic thing. So I did. So it was a real. It's a real thing. The Lishi, the father of nature. He is a real. That's what I was saying. I thought it was a real thing. But the Gunt and Riddle family is present in the Potter tree, and Lishi is an actual myth. That's what I thought. By the way, I didn't spell check or grammar check this chapter. I can tell because you kept on mixing pronouns, but it's fine. It happens. Even in the nice Snarry story, I'm just reading it and I went, huh? I had to reread the sentence a couple of times in the Snarry story. But the one thing that I think this story could use is what Snarry's doing. It's not rated R. It's not sexual. Well, I mean, like they kiss and stuff. But what Snarry in that relationship, Snape actually nibbles on his collarbone a little bit, and they make out. In this relationship, they don't do any of that. That's what I'm asking. I'm sounding horrible now. I'm so sorry. By the way, I didn't. Yeah. So sorry if there's some odd words. Yes. Okay, Alex. Thank you for the story. Well, damn. I'm just gonna die now. I think I read 3 chapters. It's almost been 2 hours. I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to end it here. This is the longest I've ever read something, and I thought the Snarry stories were long. So, thank you guys for watching. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. Stay away from people who have COVID. Stay away from me, because apparently I have COVID when I sound like this. You know what I mean. So, have a nice day. Have a great life. You know what? It sounds like I'm finally signing off for the rest of my life, but no. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, yeah. Which is a couple hours after I'm done editing this. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.